Good afternoon, guys, from Brunel Street, Birmingham, which some of you may know is the drop-off and pick-up point for Megabus and various places around the country. And today I am heading down to Portsmouth via Coventry and Oxford, apparently. So yeah, I've got about 40 minutes until the coach turns up. I'll be interested to see what I get. I've got a front seat today, by the way, so I'm hoping it stays dry for that. Whether, yeah, it could go either way at the moment, I think. Come with me, we'll get on the coach, and I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, well, getting on the coach was not something I've been doing for a while, unfortunately. After watching Darcy Bustle and Megabus and Harry arrive and depart, I wandered over the road towards the bus shelters, where I was met by the very helpful member of staff on duty, who informed me that our 12:50 departure down to Portsmouth was delayed due to a road traffic collision near Stoke-on-Trent. Another unmarked service came and went, and I decided to go and have a wander back into Birmingham for a bit, which was infinitely better than hanging around here by the car park.
Well guys, St Paul's Square in Birmingham, I'm just chilling out here for a bit because when I got to the Megabus pickup point, I was met by the lovely Andrea, who by the way is a credit to your company Megabus, please take note. And she advised me that due to a road collision somewhere up near Stoke-on-Trent, I think, the coach is going to be about 50 minutes late, which is fine. So I'm not in any rush to get down to Portsmouth, so I'm just going to chill out here for a bit and yeah, keep an eye on the app, which incidentally you can download from the Megabus website, and yeah, that will show in real time where the coach is. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and then when it's getting fairly near, I'll head back down to the stop and yeah, get on the coach. I'll see you in a bit.
And finally here it came, scattering passers-by as it turned into Brunel Street, YY65 VXM, a Volvo Plaxton Elite Eye of the unnamed variety, sadly. And nevertheless, I decided to give it a name anyway. Let's Mega Trip. What do you think? I reckon that's a great name for a Megabus, don't you? Do you think it'll happen? No, neither do I. Anyway, quite a few people got off here, and this coach had come all the way from Newcastle, departing at 7 o'clock in the morning. So for anyone staying on it to its final destination of Portsmouth, that's some trip, isn't it? I reckon it's probably pretty close to the longest journey in the UK. At 10 hours and 45 minutes, it must surely be the longest one solely in England.
Thank you very much. Hop on board and towards the back.
Hello.
Hello, hop on board. It's right at the front there. If you've got any problems, just give us a shout and then we'll sort it all out for you.
Thank you very
and
much.
I'll look out for it.
Right, good to meet you.
And you, take care, Mark.
Thank you, see you later.
Like I said, great service from the Megabus representative on duty here today. I climbed on board, pausing for a few seconds to have a quick look at the 3 accessible seats here on the lower deck, just behind the driver, and then I made my way up to the main passenger area and my seat 1A, right at the front for this roughly 5-hour journey down to Portsmouth. And I reckon the coach was maybe a third full, if that. We eventually left Birmingham at 13:43, 53 minutes late. And it was not too bad traffic-wise getting out of the city. We took the Aston Expressway towards Gravelly Hill Interchange, otherwise known as Spaghetti Junction, of course. And we were then on the M6, making good progress towards our first stop of Coventry. There was no one sitting next to me or behind me at this point, which is an extra bonus, isn't it? So I took the opportunity to have a look at the seat and the surroundings. The first 10 rows, I think, are bookable with Megabus, and so the antimacassars display the seat number, which is handy. There is an over-the-shoulder seat belt on the front seats, and there is the usual stagecoach moquette. Quite hard seat backs and softer lower areas. The seats recline using this lever here, and there's a sign reminding you not to smoke and making sure that you belt up. There's a myriad of power options to the side, including a conventional power socket. We've got retractable armrests between the seats, and above your head you have individual air vents and reading lights. Yeah, it's all very standard, isn't it, this? But importantly, everything worked as it should. Right, so brightening up a little as we head into Cov, we made our way to the city bus and coach station. I'd never been to this part of the city before, but yeah, it looked okay really. The bus station part is officially called Pool Meadow and was opened in 1994.
Hey Jensen, welcome to Coventry bus station. This is Coventry bus station.
National Express and Megabus use stands A to D located outside the main area, and then you also have two other coach companies using these stands, Tandy Coaches and New Barrett. I've never heard of these, to be honest, but if you've tried them, let me know. Would you recommend a trip on one of these coach companies? Well, after leaving Coventry, the weather changed again, as you can see, and there was lots of spray on the roads too. Some guy decided to sit behind me, and it was just going on and on about like totally random stuff like farm animals and things. I mean, he was a nice chap actually, and I think half the time he was talking to himself, but yeah, that was fine. And he was actually outside the coach in Birmingham, so I don't know where he'd been sitting up until now. Anyway, he just did not stop, and I popped my earphones in for a bit as I needed a rest. The next stop, Oxford. We followed the X5 service all the way through the historic streets of Oxford, finally ending up at Gloucester Green Bus and Coach Station at stand 13. Unlucky for some. Not for me though. I reckon I had the best seat on the coach, so when travelling through somewhere like this, you really do get the best vantage point up here at the front, don't you? Oxford really did look lovely this afternoon, and we passed several interesting looking buses on the way out. Unfortunately, as we made our way towards the A34, there was a bit of a hold-up due to an Asda delivery driver running into the back of an Audi. That's got to be the Audi driver's fault though, hasn't it? Anyway, by the time we had made it out, it was already 16:10. We were supposed to be at our next stop, Southampton, at 16:30. Better get a move on. Southampton, Parkway, Airport, Railway Station, Bus and coach stops. Yeah, great connectivity here, isn't there? It was 17:20, so 50 minutes late at this point, which was a bit better than the tracker had predicted on the Megabus website. I'll put a link to this below, as it is a great way of checking your coach journey, whether you're in transit or just waiting for it to turn up. Such contrast in weather though. You know, 1 minute it was fine, the next it was absolutely pouring down. One thing to note though, I was expecting the front window to be totally obscured in the rain, but it wasn't too bad, and it soon dried off once it had stopped. The seat had been holding out comfort wise, legroom absolutely fine here. You actually get a little bit more in the front aisle seats due to the slight curvature of the front of the coach, though you would have to sit next to me, and yeah, nobody wants to be doing that, do they? Also, I kept hearing water sloshing about behind me. No idea why, but if anybody knows, then please leave me a comment. Right, loo review time, and here's another one of these toilets with a water replacement facility in situ, aka some hand sanitizer. Better than nothing though, I suppose. Yeah, let's move that out of the way for a minute. So as expected then, no liquid soap here either, and there was a notice here saying that the hand dryer wasn't in use. Probably been like this for a while if they need to put a sign on it. By tissues, I think they meant toilet roll. That was all that was available for drying your hands. No liner in the bin. Yeah, overall, not the greatest toilet really, especially when you could be on this coach for potentially 11 hours plus. I returned to my seat. The guy from earlier had decided to sit next to this poor chap by the stairs. He also had his earphones in. And we were making our way towards Southampton city centre, where quite a few people got off. I tried out the Wi-Fi, but I couldn't get it to work. Just kept getting this unexpected error notice when I tried to connect. Anyway, we had about an hour to run now through what I think is probably the most scenic part of the route. Again, the front seat is absolutely the best place on the coach. You can see what's coming up, and you get this kind of panoramic view of everything around you. And in terms of price, I paid £12.69 for this one-way 5-hour journey, plus a £1 booking fee. And that was booked about 3 weeks in advance of travel. The front seat cost me an extra £3, so yeah, a total of £16.69. And despite a few shortcomings, you just cannot go wrong for that price, can you? The coach itself was comfortable, staff were absolutely great, and yeah, there were delays, but not the fault of Megabus, and you have to factor this in with any coach and bus travel, don't you? Right, I don't know about you, but when I get down to this part of the world, I get this real excitement from the anticipation of onward travel. You can normally see one or two of the ferries in Portsmouth Harbour waiting to take you over the Channel to France or down the Bay of Biscay to Spain. Absolutely fantastic. Enjoy this last part of the journey with me, and I'll see you again when I get off the coach. We arrived into Portsmouth's The Hard interchange at 18:20, 35 minutes late in the end, which wasn't too bad, was it? And I don't know about you, but I cannot think of a more picturesque bus and coach station anywhere. It's right on the seafront, with HMS Warrior, Britain's first iron-hulled armoured warship, in the background, and the Spinnaker Tower you can see just here, only a 5-minute walk away. You've got connections with rail services and ferries to the Isle of Wight on your doorstep, plus around 850 local bus connections a day. I got my stuff together and disembarked the coach. The guy who'd been everyone's friend for the journey was still here, along with a few other passengers, but there weren't that many left on board by this stage. Well, I'm surprised in a way, because if you're heading down to Portsmouth to catch a ferry, particularly a night crossing as a foot passenger, it's so easy and cheap to do this. The Brittany ferries and Condor ferries leave from the main ferry terminal about 15 minutes away by bus, or you can walk it in half an hour. I'll definitely be trying that in the future. In the meantime, I just paused for a couple of minutes to watch the coach race off into the distance, and then I made my way to the rear of the bus station, where there were some great views of the harbour, and I just took a minute to sum up the journey.
Okay then guys, Portsmouth, 35 minutes late in the end. Not too bad actually, made up quite a bit of time in that last hour. And yeah, the coach overall, probably not the best coach I've ever been on, probably not even the best mega bus I've ever been on, but not too bad. And I tell you what, it makes a difference being at the front there, right at the front, and the views are fantastic coming into Portsmouth. Portsmouth, incidentally, one of my favourite places I've had so many adventures from here, and yeah, I've got quite a few more coming along in the next few days as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe or comment. That makes such a difference, guys. I will see you on another adventure soon, and as always, cheers for now.